2022 marks the year of the all-new Toyota Tundra. But is Toyota still playing catch-up to the big three truck companies, or is the new Tundra better than those trucks? Let's go for a drive and find out. The base engine in the 2022 Tundra, if you can even call it a base engine, is a twin-turbocharged 3.5-liter V6. It produces 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. To put it into a little bit of perspective, the power figure, or the horsepower figure I should say, is right around the same as the 5.7 Hemi V8 in the Ram 1500, but this has a lot more torque. It actually has more torque than the 6.2-liter V8 in the Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra. There is also a hybrid version of this V6, but unfortunately I was not able to get my hands on it, at least not yet. But getting back to this non-hybrid version of the V6, it has a lot of low-end torque and it's sustained throughout the mid RPM range. So every time that you put your foot down or just gently roll on the throttle, this engine really gets going. It makes the Tundra feel like as though it's a Tacoma. It just sheds all of its weight. It's also a pretty fuel-efficient engine, at least on paper it is. So officially it is rated for 13.6 liters per 100 kilometers in a city and 10.5 liters per 100 kilometers on a highway. The highway fuel economy is a little bit easier to achieve, but the city fuel economy, I've really been struggling to get it anywhere near that 13.6 liter per 100 kilometers mark. I've been averaging in just city driving closer to about 14.5 liters per 100 kilometers. But on a combined cycle, I'm looking at around 12.9 liters per 100 kilometers. So it's not that bad. And at least with this engine, the truck takes regular fuel, not premium fuel. Paired with this engine is a 10-speed automatic transmission. The shifts between gears are smooth and quick enough for a pickup truck. You can take over shifting and the transmission reacts quickly enough on the upshifts, but it is slower on the downshifts. The handling dynamics of the 2022 Tundra further make the big truck feel smaller than it actually is. Again, it's akin to a Tacoma. Don't get fooled though, because the width and length will immediately feel massive down a narrow alley or tight parking lot. But the steering is light enough to maneuver at slow speeds, and it firms up just enough on highways to keep the truck stable. This particular demo truck is equipped with a TRD off-road package, which adds a locking rear differential that can only be used in 4-low though, downhill assist control, crawl control, multi-terrain select, and TRD off-road shocks, which are actually Bilstein shocks. As for its capability, with the non-hybrid V6 engine, the Tundra can tow up to 12,000 pounds and has a max payload rating of 1,940 pounds. With the hybrid V6, the tow rating does decrease by a little bit to 11,170 pounds. Starting with the ride comfort of the 2022 Tundra, it has coil springs on the back instead of leaf springs. It still has a solid rear axle, so it's not fully independent, but the switch to coil springs and a multi-link setup means that it's much more comfortable over bumps and rough roads than some other pickup trucks with leaf springs. And in terms of noises inside the cabin, when you're cruising, you barely hear the engine. There's hardly any wind noise, and there's just a tiny bit of road noise from these tires, but it's not overly intrusive. I don't have to raise my voice to talk to another passenger or to you guys. The interior, of course, also received an update for this new generation of the Toyota Tundra, and it looks quite modern, but it's still very utilitarian. So all the controls are either big, chunky toggle switches or physical buttons, and even the steering wheel, it's nice and chunky and it's got quite a good girth to it. At least it feels nice for my big hands. If you have smaller hands, maybe you won't like it as much. The gear shifter is, again, nice and chunky and very macho feeling, and all the controls are right where you expect them to be. However, my big complaint about this interior is the extensive use of hard and cheap feeling plastics. Right here on the dashboard, center console, door panels, it all just feels really cheap. Now, I understand that this is a low to mid trim level of the Tundra, the SR5, but in other pickup trucks that are of a similar trim level, the plastics just don't really feel this cheap and hard. They're a little bit softer. So that's my biggest complaint about this interior. I'm sure that the top spec capstone trim is much nicer than this, but for this trim level, yeah, it doesn't really feel that great. However, in terms of space, for my 6'4" height, there's more than enough. Legroom, not an issue whatsoever. Headroom, I got plenty of it. And I even have really good visibility out the front, out the side, and even out the back. Speaking of the back, this is the smaller double cab configuration, and as such, it doesn't have that much space for the rear occupants. Of course, most double cab pickup trucks don't offer that much space, but the Tundra is smaller than the rest. There are compartments underneath the seats for storing small items, but the floor in the back is not completely flat like how it is in other pickup trucks. Behind the cab, the bed is available in a few different lengths. In this double cab configuration, it is available in a 6.5 foot length or an 8.1 foot length. In CrewMax configuration, it is available as a 5.5 foot or a 6.5 foot bed. There are also side rails with adjustable cleats, and it can be equipped with a 120 volt power outlet. The 2022 Tundra, however, does not have any sort of trick tailgate like other pickup trucks. The Toyota Tundra starts at just under $45,000 Canadian for the double cab SR 4x2 trim. As equipped, this double cab 4x4 SR5 TRD off-road costs $54,290 Canadian. For the money, this SR5 Tundra has heated seats, heated steering wheel, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, an 8-inch touchscreen, backup camera with front and rear parking sensors, and automatic climate control. If you do want more, higher trim levels of the Tundra come equipped with leather upholstery, ventilated front seats, a head-up display, a larger 14-inch touchscreen, surround view cameras, and a whole lot more. Arguably, one of the biggest new gadgets of this 2022 Tundra is the new infotainment system. It does take a little while to get used to the new layout, but after you fool around with it, it becomes pretty easy to navigate. On the left side, you have your infotainment navigation, which is always going to be visible no matter what menu or submenu you decide to go into. So you have navigation at the top, if equipped, audio, phone, vehicle statistics, and settings. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, and I had no issues connecting my friend's Apple phone to this system and use wireless CarPlay. However, I have had issues connecting my Samsung phone to it and using Android Auto. I tried both wireless and physically connecting a cable to this USB port up here, and it still didn't work. I tried deleting my phone from the infotainment system and repairing it, still didn't work. I don't know, maybe it's something with my phone, but I haven't had any issues with other vehicles in connecting wireless Android Auto. So again, maybe it's my phone, maybe not, but it does have over-the-air updates, so it can be fixed easily. As for safety, all 2022 Toyota Tundra models come equipped with standard Toyota Safety Sense 2.5. This includes forward collision alert with automatic emergency braking and emergency steering assist, lane departure warning with lane keep, lane tracing assist, automatic high beam, dynamic radar cruise control, front pedestrian detection and emergency braking, left turn oncoming vehicle detection with emergency braking, and sway warning system. The only options that can be added are the blind spot sensors and rear cross traffic alert. So in the end, the new Toyota Tundra TRD off-road is a really good improvement over the previous generation. The way that it drives and the quietness of the cabin are the biggest highlights of this new truck, among a few other things of course. However, if you need something with more capability, the big three American truck brands still do a better job. Then again, Toyota is not known for being a truck-focused company, and as such, their truck customer base is different. This Tundra's capability is just enough for lighter duty towing or carrying, and it is a much better truck to drive than ever before. If you want to know more about this 2022 Toyota Tundra, I wrote a more detailed review of it over on my website. You can find that link in the video description or click on the pop-up banner in the top right. And as always, I will see you in the next car or truck, or most likely, it'll probably be an SUV. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.